Good afternoon, everybody. This is Gary Tucker, and this is Tuck Talk number 11. How I feel about the legalization of marijuana in Canada. Oh boy, everybody's pretty excited. They can smoke pot now, and theoretically not get thrown in a cage for doing so. Wow, what an exuberant moment. What a great moment of national enlightenment. So, on a base level, I'm really glad that people can smoke a weed if they so desire to, and not get thrown into a cage and have their life completely and totally destroyed for doing so. January 31st, 1992, I got caught with some hashish in a foreign country, and I got thrown into a prison that was notorious for its human rights violations, inhumane treatment to prisoners, etc. And thus began a 5.5-year prison sentence. And I was charged with being a danger to the public health because I had hashish. Wow! Being a danger to the public health. I always had a lot of trouble swallowing that particular charge. I maintain that the only way that I could have been a danger to the public health with my hashish is if I had to put it all together in a big bag and then hit somebody over the head with it. Which I never did, by the way. Nor did I ever have any intention of doing so. The truth of the matter is, I'm not that passionate one way or the other about marijuana and related products. My decision to try to profit from hashish was on more of a personal level, where I wanted to self-actualize. I wanted a chance to get out of my robotic, machine-like rut where I was using all of my life energy in a subsistence living type format and just making enough money to pay the rent and eat, and exhausting myself doing so to the point where I had no energy or time left to be creative or experiment with some of the things that I wanted to do to maximize myself as a human being and to explore my potential. So at that point in my life, I was willing to risk it all. I took those dice and I rolled them on the table and I went for it because I had a dream, I had a plan, I had a vision that if I could get myself into a situation where I had time, that I could write, that I could come to know myself better, explore my own potential, and maximize myself as a human being. And to do that in lieu of just going through the motions every day of my life until one day I finally just fell over and died, I was willing to put it all on the line. And you know what? In spite of the fact that I had to fight for my life, in spite of the beatings I took by prison guards in the middle of the night, in spite of the horrific food I had to swallow to survive to get enough nutrition into me, and everything else that went through that incredible experience in foreign prisons. In spite of all of that, I don't regret my decision. I own it. What I did was illegal at the time, and I knew it. And when I got caught doing what I did, I owned it. Okay. I have no resentment and no regrets. What I did is I took that negative experience and I maximized it. And a lot of the things that I was hoping for or wishing to achieve, I accomplished anyway, in spite of having everything taken from me, all of my freedom, all of my dignity. With everything gone, I looked at what was left, and what was left was me. And I took it and I built on it. And I learned as much as I possibly could during that experience. For all the people in Canada who've been arrested and done time in jail for marijuana, hey, are you still criminals today? I remember when I got back to Canada after being in prison, I would hear things like, "Oh, I hope you learned your lesson," and "I bet you'll never do that again." And I'm not really sure what lesson they were referring to. Yeah, I'm going to do my best never to get beaten up by a person in authority in the middle of the night again. Or drugs are bad. Was that the lesson? As I said at the beginning of this, I'm not an advocator for or against marijuana. I tend to believe that there's a large number of people out there who experience positive physical benefits, if not healing benefits, from the drug. And if that's the case, then shame on anyone who stops them from using it for the health benefits. In terms of a recreational drug, I couldn't care one way or another if I ever smoked it again. But my hat's off to Canada for being near the head of the pack in taking the smoking of marijuana off the list of things that make you a bad person deserving of incarceration. So for all of you pot smokers out there, for whatever reason you do it, right on. Right on. It would bother me to have you go to jail for smoking pot. So, yay Canada. Way to go. A step in the right direction.